Hey, it's Domain Dave, cheapwinefinder.com. I'll go through the thing like I always do 3 times a week. We write up a value-priced wine under 20, usually closer to 10 as much as possible. In the holidays, we go up maybe even above 20 because that's the holidays. Lately, we've been on a Pinot Noir kick, and that's basically because the wines coming out lately have been Pinot Noirs. There's not been a boatload of new wines, but today we've got the Aldi specially selected Willamette Valley Pinot Noir 2022. It's a long name, and it's a good wine. Willamette Valley, in my opinion, is the best place in the United States for a Pinot Noir. I mean, there's some really good places. There's Santa Barbara, and there's places up and down the Central Coast in Monterey, and then you got like several really good places in Sonoma Coast, Russian River, and then you got Caneros, which is primarily in Napa, but could be a little bit in Sonoma too. But for my money, it's Willamette Valley. A long time ago, I went to a tasting, I think it was like Languedoc French wines. It was kind of cool tasting. It wasn't huge. I got to talk to the winemakers there, and they were going, oh, I really like Willamette Valley. So I was like, okay, and that's before I really knew too much about it. But when the French say that the home of Burgundy, the home of Pinot Noir, and then Champagne's got Pinot Noir and Chardonnay in their wines, when they're talking about Oregon as a place where the wine is good, the Pinot Noir, you probably should listen to that. And here we have Aldi. Aldi specially selected wines. There's a bunch of them. And I think there's like 75 of them in Europe. I think around the United States, at least where my Aldi is, you get like 10 or 15 of them. And most of them are really good. They're usually upscale growing regions at a really good price, which I'm all for. You know, hey, if you want to give me a taste of the good stuff at a lesser price, not that the wines in the value price are bad or anything, but to get a little taste of those vineyards, get a little terroir. That's what they call them. It's it's not a lot of terroir, but that's of the place. Yeah, it's fine with me. Though a good regular old wine is good too. But so what do we have here with this Aldi Willamette Valley wine? Now it's Willamette Valley. Usually, the better wines are from a sub-AVA, McMinnville, Dundee, whatever, and then the really good ones are from estate vineyards. One thing I noticed is kind of fun with them is under $40, I'll put a screw top in it. This one didn't have a screw top. And above $40, it's because you might put it away for a while. Pinot Noir normally isn't put away for long, but you might want to put it away for 3 or 4 years. And then you put a cork in there. And this is, I'm not sure where it came from, but it's okay with me. It's hard to find because Aldi owns a specially selected name, so usually you can track people down by the name, but you're just going to go with Aldi. I'm going to take a sip. Most of the vineyard or wineries in Willamette Valley do not make under $20 wine. They're not in the value wine business. Pinot Noir is a little hard to make. There are a few that do it, and they're usually making wines for Trader Joe's, Costco, and Aldi, with a few other places. There are Kroger and Safeway have wines too, but they're a little harder to figure out what's going on with them. But this is when it just says Willamette Valley, that's good, because a lot of times you see Oregon, which is all the other regions up and down the coast. Nothing wrong with those, because those are perfectly fine wines too. But it's kind of nice. But like for $12.99, well, that's what you get for $12.99 if you get a $12.99 Willamette Valley Pinot Noir. But once you start getting a sub AVA on there, the price goes up considerably. I'll take another sip because it does drink well. The alcohol on this Pinot Noir is 12.5. And I've just been, I've been drinking a lot of Pinots recently because they're really coming into the value price market. And at 12.5, That's the way they all used to be. 10 years ago, all Pinot Noirs were 12.5. And lately, they're 14, 14.5. I had one the other day at 13.5. It was like a value price one. It's like, how did this one get to be 13.5? Everybody's 14.5. The more alcohol in there, the more body, the more sugar. Pinot Noir is kind of better when it doesn't have that body and lets the flavors come through and lets all the nuance. Pinot Noir is a nuanced wine. And 12.5 is just fine. This one, as it opens up, it tastes better and better. It's got that see-through. You could read through this wine. It's smooth on the palate. It's got a nice mixture of rough edge spices and that type of thing, and then sweet fruit and a little bit of tart fruit. Nothing too crazy. There's a little bit of smoke on the nose, that kind of cool. It's not crazy over the top with odd, funky flavors. Pinot Noir can get a little bit funky here and there. But that's in a good way too, because it's one of the few wines that can get a little crazy, but not over the top crazy. So is it good? Yeah. You want a Willamette Valley Pinot Noir for $12.99? If you haven't had one, this is a great way to start. It's the Aldi specially selected Willamette Valley Pinot Noir 2022. It's worth buying. It's worth drinking. So there you go. $12.99 well spent. So that's it for me, Domain Dave, cheapwinefinder.com. Like us where you like your podcast, push the button, or whatever you do with podcasts. I do not know. And I'll be talking to everybody because I got another Pinot Noir coming up. So adios, keep it cheap, and I'll be talking to you.